All right, this tutorial is about a dilation. A definition of a dilation, it is a type of transformation that either grows or enlarges or shrinks, which is a reduction, a figure, but keeps it looking exactly the same as in its shape. So we have to know the scale factor in order to find the dilation. So a scale factor in this instance describes how much the figure is enlarged or reduced. Scale factors larger than 1 means that it will be an enlargement. Scale factors less than 1 will mean it is a reduction. The figure will reduce in size. So finding the scale factor, the ratio of a length of the image corresponding to the length of the original figure. So in other words, you put the length of the image one side over that same side in the pre-image, and that becomes your scale factor. An easier thing to think about is it is also called the multiplier. Now, we're going to talk about this. All right, so we have this example here. Now, notice this figure on the outside is your pre-image, and the figure just inside it is the image. Now, if you look at the coordinates, a little bit of magic here. Here are the coordinates. Here is our pre-image and then our image. All right, so we already know just by looking at it that it's reducing, so it's going to be a reduction. So how do I get from here to here? I have to, on the -4 to get to -2, I have to divide by 2. Does that hold true through all of these? 4 to 2, 2 to 1, -2 to -1, -4 to -2? Yes. So if I'm dividing by 2, remember your scale factor is also called a multiplier. So I would have this rule. I would take half of x and half of y. Okay? Because if I divide by 2, that's the same thing as taking it times 1/2. All right. Now, what if we switched it up and we now have, this is the pre-image and this is the image. So it is now going to be an enlargement. A little bit of magic. Here are the coordinates of our pre-image and the coordinates of our image, our image. So how do I get from 1, 1 to 2, 2, 1, 4 to 2, 8? What does it look like is happening here? Well, our rule for this one and our multiplier, our ratio would be 2. I'm taking 2 times the x and 2 times the y. All right, I hope this helps.